Happy Friday, everybody. We're in Phoenix. I brought the television crew with me to Phoenix and thought we would share a recipe. It's kind of new to all of us, but I thought it would be fun just because we made a pistachio cake from one that will be in the new book that will come out probably in October, end of September, October, called "'Tis So Sweet." But we made the pistachio cake for Caleb's birthday on Tuesday night, and it was a huge hit. So I started thinking, since that was such a good cake and it was so easy, I wanted to try it with a different flavor. So we're doing a strawberry whipped cream cake with essentially the same recipe for the base of the cake, except it just changed flavors. So this morning, my daughter talked me into going with them to go paddleboarding in Salt River. And I'm exhausted. I didn't even do the paddle boarding. They pulled me behind on a float with a rope tied to her paddle board. And it was so much fun. I had a great time, but we are home now and making a cake for tonight. We're gonna go out and celebrate Caleb's birthday, I think, one more time tonight at Cheesecake Factory. So I thought I'd make this strawberry whipped cream cake. So what you do is the beginning of the glaze, you have to kind of let it cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and make it first. And the glaze is a cup of sugar, a cup of water, 4 tablespoons of Jello strawberry gelatin, and 4 tablespoons of cornstarch. And you just mix it all together. I doubled the recipe because I'm trying to do something different tonight, which I'll explain at the end after we put the cake together. But anyway, you just put everything in a saucepan and you bring it to a boil, and then you let it cool while you're making the cake. So that's the first step that you do. It's very easy. It's gonna be a gorgeous cake, I think. And with the whipped cream and the fresh strawberries, it's not only gonna be really pretty, it's gonna taste amazing. So thank you, Jody. We just started talking about this, and she said, well, Mom, since I kind of splice these together for you sometimes, I'd kind of like to do this, just videotape it, and while you're here, and let's do a recipe. So that's why we started talking about doing that today. So thank you, Jody. Do you want to say hi to everybody?
You're welcome. Hi.
I told her she's missing her career in film producing. She does such a good job. So
maybe next year.
Maybe next year, if she has enough time after her paddle boarding that she's doing all the time. So it was so much fun. We just floated today. We saw horses in the river. We saw helicopters flying over, and we couldn't figure out whether they were looking at the girls that were on the paddle boards in their cute little bikinis, or whether they were really looking for a mass murder or something. But anyway, it was fun watching the helicopters. And if you hear background music, that's Jaden in his bedroom. He's playing the guitar, and I'm starting to hear it a little bit louder, aren't you? Mm-hmm. So that's the background music you probably hear. It's not church music or jazz. It's pretty rock and roll. So it's a little different background than what we usually have. But anyway, so we'll share the recipe for the cake in just a minute after we get the glaze thickened. I'm gonna go ahead and keep stirring this until it thickens, then we'll put it aside. Then we'll start on the cake and get it in the oven. Okay, this has come to a boil, and it is very, very thick, if you can see. So we're gonna set that aside, and I'm gonna make the cake while that cools. This will go between the layers and then poured over the top of the fresh strawberries that will be on the very top of the cake, and drizzle down the sides of the whipped cream frosting. So let's go make the cake. I went ahead and poured the cake mix in the pudding. I used Duncan Hines Classic White cake mixes. I think they're just a little bit better than the other brand. I forgot what it is now. And I always buy the French vanilla Jello instant pudding flavor. I just think it adds so much flavor to the white cake mixes. So the recipe calls for a cup of oil, Jody, I'm using all your oil and all your eggs.
That's fine. As long as we can eat some of the cake.
A cup of club soda. One of the recipes I saw called for either lemon lime soda that you could possibly use instead of the club soda. I might try that next time. I had this on the shopping list when she went to the grocery store, and so she got that. 3 eggs that are at room temperature. Like I said in all the previous videos, I try to always get the eggs to room temperature. They seem to beat up better, give you a fluffier texture on the cake. Jody's healthier than I am. She gets organic brown eggs. I just get whatever Walmart has on sale. She's much better about all that stuff than I am. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so we're gonna beat that for just a few minutes, a couple of minutes. So we have mixed the cake mix with the ingredients. I'm gonna pour them into the 3 pans. I was thinking actually a while ago, Joe, do you remember growing up, we'd go to the lake or the beach, and when you come back and you get in the shower and you wash your hair and you feel so different, you feel so much cleaner than just taking a normal shower every day.
That's true.
I just remember always going to the beach with Mother and Daddy on Wednesday afternoons. That was their day off in Corpus. And we'd come home and I'd take a shower and I'd go, man, that felt so good. Anyway, that's what it reminded me of a while ago.
You'd have to wash all the tar off.
Well, in Corpus, you didn't have to wash the tar. That's true. Today we just had to wash salt off.
Yes.
Okay.
And you had pre-sprayed those with
I had pre-sprayed these with Pam. You can use, sometimes, I said a while ago that I use the French vanilla pudding mix. Sometimes I get the cheesecake and use that. It just depends on what I'm making. And I just thought the French vanilla today, since we're using the strawberries and the whipping cream, would do better. So that's what we use. Okay, they're gonna go in the oven. And I preheated it to 350. This one will come out first because I didn't have as much batter. Okay. All 3 cake layers are out of the oven. Like I said, the Jell-O mixture has thickened up very, very well, and it's cooled. So we're gonna leave these to cool for just a minute and come over here and make the whipping cream. When you're whipping cream, be sure that your beaters, your bowl, nothing has any grease on it. It just won't whip very well if you do. So be sure they're washed in really, really hot water. I'm doing a lot of whipping cream because we're going to frost the entire cake with whipping cream. So we'll start beating it. I've got about a ½ cup of powdered sugar here, and I know a lot of people just use granulated sugar, but if you're wanting your whipping cream to last more than just for the night, if you're serving something that has whipping cream and you're going to use it all up, it's not a big deal whether you use granulated sugar or powdered sugar. But if you want it to last for a couple of days in the refrigerator, use your powdered sugar. I think powdered sugar has some cornstarch in it, and that helps hold the texture of it, and it won't get so drippy and watery. So use your powdered sugar. I just kind of gradually add as I do. Because I had to pull on that rope without the paddle while we were paddleboarding to get back over to the paddleboard. So I was thinking maybe I earned $2. It was a lot of work. Jody's going back in the morning. She's going to do, how long are y'all going to be gone tomorrow?
Either 9 or 12 miles.
9 or 12 miles? And how many miles did we do today? Don't say 1.
I think 4 to 6.
Oh, we did 46 miles.
I think it's 6 miles, but I don't know for sure.
You're kidding. Oh my God. Okay, I'm proud. So I was able to float from 4 to 6 miles.
You stayed in that float so well.
Thank you, honey. I'm pretty talented like that, you know. I'm going to touch my finger there. It is plenty sweet already, so I didn't even use the half a cup. And I probably used, this is 1 pint, 16 ounces. I probably used about 10 or 12 ounces of that. So I'm fully whipped now.
And I think you washed your hands right before this, right?
Of course, yes, I did, because I was washing the bowl, so my hands are really, really clean. Okay, so come over here, and I will go ahead and pour some of the Jell-O on this first layer so they can kind of see. We're gonna have to.
Yum.
I'm not gonna put any strawberries between the layers. I'm gonna save them all for the top of the cake, because this gives them enough flavor, putting the strawberry glaze between the layers. And we're going to do that between all 3 layers. And then when we frost the whole thing in whipped cream, we'll place the strawberries. I've already cleaned them and cut them up in the refrigerator, and then pour the rest of the glaze over the strawberries, allowing it to drip on the sides. It's a gorgeous cake, and I think it's going to be really good, even after we have cheesecake at Cheesecake Factory tonight. So that's it. We are ready to put the top layer on the cake. It's full up. One reason I wanted to get it made tonight is because I was dying to taste it, and my husband called and I have to come home tomorrow. So I knew if I was going to get any, I was going to have to go ahead and make it tonight. So just frost the entire thing with the whipping cream. The cake has been wrapped in whipping cream. You can use Cool Whip. Don't tell me if you do, please, but you can.
And then you can't lick the whipping cream bowl.
That's true.
You
would want to, I don't think.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just sliced these. I cleaned them and dried, put them on a paper towel to dry them. They wouldn't get a lot of liquid in the whipping cream.
I want to show Maya begging.
Oh, that's cute, y'all. This is Miss Maya. This is who we used to call Jezebel, because when we had Oliver, Maya and Oliver would play, and Miss Jezebel there would always take Oliver's toys away from him. So we nicknamed her Jezebel, didn't we, darling? Yeah.
Who, me?
Okay. And then I'm just going to, actually this got a little thick, but while it was sitting here, I let it sit too long. With the flavor. Will be amazing. And it just kind of sets the strawberries in place on the top. Like I said, I doubled using the strawberry pie that everybody makes with the fresh strawberries and the Jell-O glaze. That's all I used. I just doubled it. So I would have plenty to go between the layers and on top. And that's what we used. And there's your fresh whipped cream strawberry cake.
Looks delicious.
We'll put it in the refrigerator while we're going to eat tonight. What a perfect cake for this 109-degree weather today.
Mm-hmm. At least.
So maybe tonight we can cut a piece and then you could film it and.
Okay, I was thinking the same thing.
Okay.
To show the inside.
Here we go. Well, here's our fresh strawberry whipped cream cake. You saw how easy it was to put together. We will probably cut a piece tonight when we get home so we can take a picture of it and show you what it looks like on the inside. Thank y'all so much for watching. May I ask you to please click, like, and subscribe to Sassy Southern, and then also check out Chocolate Castles at chocolatecastles.com for the blog and lots of recipes and lots of fun stories. Thank y'all and have a great weekend.